Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 105 today and we finish our 11th season, hopefully in style, as we pick up the league trophy away at Llandudno, who themselves are in a big scrap for third place and the final automatic European spot. Them, Swansea Met Uni or Barry Town United could all yet make it. And with the goal difference so close, particularly with Barry Town, it could be a crucial problem for Llandudno that they're playing us today. We then face Barry Town United in the Welsh Cup final, a side that have beaten us in that game more than once before. And let's be fair, if they're at their best, they could do it again and automatically qualify for Europe regardless of who finishes third. So if you're looking forward to all of that and finding out what happens, probably who gets third is more important for the future of this save, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. There's links to all the playlists in the eye above, including a couple of Euros based things. And you can find a link to the food channel there as well with regular content every week. There's also a link to the Twitch channel in the description below. The next 4 weeks are going to be my biggest ever. I'm going to throw myself at streaming and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So please do pop along if you're able to. Come and follow us over there. But in the meantime, let's have a look at the final day of the Welsh Premier League season. The league table is very tight between 3rd and 5th. However, if we go and have a look at the fixture schedule, Barry Town United are at home to Aberystwyth, which on paper is the easiest game of the 3. Swansea Met Uni are at home to TNS, who will be looking to finish the season in style. And Llandudno have a difficult game at home to us. And we can't rest people because we've got an 8-day break after. It's a real opportunity for Barry to nick 3rd, despite being in 5th and having the 2nd worst goal difference. It could be an incredible day for them and for us as a nation. And we'd like it for our former player Josh Thomas, in fairness. Let's have a look at the schedule though to see how we've been getting on. You're with me for that thrilling game against Motherwell in the SPFL Trust Trophy final. We've had 4 matches since then and it's been plain sailing. We beat Swansea Met Uni 5-0. Joe Duffy had to come in for the injured player up front. It was Kane Walters who was out. He scored just the 4. Callum Jones got an own goal early on as well. Then against Colwyn Bay in the Welsh Cup semi-final, a comfortable 3-0 win. 2 for Luke Williams, including 1 from the spot, and Kane Walters back into the team and back in form. An 8-1 win followed at Aberystwyth. We said they're the side that tactically we just face up best against. We always score big against them. You can see the 5-0 at home before, the 6-1 in the League Cup final. We've got their number. It works a treat. We got 2 from Tom Jones, 2 from Kane Walters and 4 from Luke Williams. I'm still desperate to sign him this summer, but at the moment, he still won't discuss it. We might just have to hope he actually gets released and then he reduces his demands. If he gets snapped up before the end of his contract on a pre-agreed deal, I think we're in trouble. A 4-1 win against Barry Town United. Josh Thomas did score against us, but Jones, Price and a Williams penalty brace got us the 4 goals. It's been a really confident end to the season. And actually, bar that second leg against Porto, which I was unfortunately cost by 2 penalty decisions, we have had a really good year. And when we thought we'd lost Greg Pringle and things were going to go downhill, we actually probably had our most prolific scoring season. We've been really solid at the back at the most part. We look a great side and we've just got to try and build on it. I know we're going to lose Kai McDonald in the summer. I know we could lose Luke Williams and Scott Furlong. But we've got to try and make it count and continue to improve that squad. A lot of those backup players who were our first ever first team signings, they're the ones that are reaching 30 now, that are just going over the hill. And we can't rely on them to play in these league games much longer. So let's go and enjoy the title celebration and see if we can ruin Llandudno's dreams of finishing 3rd. Gwyn Morgan's got a heavy match load. He was covering at left back due to an injury for Yesten Weaver. He's now fit again, so he'll start. Morgan onto the bench. The rest of the squad, I think, can pretty much stay the same. I don't see any need to change it. Christopher Broom's back into the team. He's just starting to find fitness and form. The rest of it's absolutely brilliant. Williams and Walters on 43 goals apiece. Jones on 16 behind them. It's a wonderful squad performing very well. So we've got Wickens in goal. McDonald and Weaver the fullbacks with Price and Whittaker at centre half. Lloyd, Malone, Broom and Jones the midfield diamond with Williams and Walters the goal machines up front. If they get 4 more goals between them, it's a 90 goal strike partnership for the season. Add to that 15 for Duffy and 16 for Max Dean. That'll be 120 goals between 4 strikers. And I haven't even mentioned the 7 Elliot Andrew got as well. What an incredible season it's been. Let's see if we can finish the League One in style. and then avoid injuries ahead of the cup final, because Barrytown United will be a tough test. Well, not many familiar names in this Llandudno side, apart from the skipper, Gareth John Doran, who was one of our initial youth intake players from the first or second season. We've just got to get the job done, and if we can do it in style, that would be great. Having said that, Llandudno have been really strong defensively this season. They've had a couple of games where they've lost big, but against us, we've had a 1-0, we've had a 2-0, we've had a 3-1. We know there's a lot of tight games, and we know they can defend against us. Right, Kai McDonald's picked up an injury. No risks. No risks in this game. Gwyn Morgan will come straight on. McDonald's throwing his headed away as far as Lloyd. 17 minutes on the clock. Can McDonald have one lasting contribution? He can't. The ball's into Luke Williams up front though, and his shot straight at the keeper. Really well dealt with. Kai McDonald has now been replaced. 70 minutes for the youngster Morgan. But can we get on top? Because really, we've not created a huge amount in this game. Well, it looks like Barrytown United are losing and Swansea Met Uni might be winning because the points are all change up there. Llandudno at 0-0 have dropped out a third, so let's get the latest scores up so we can see them. And then we'll come back to that after the free kick, which hopefully we can put away. Harvey Lloyd will step up just outside the D on the right hand side. Oh, it's hit the outside of the post. The keeper went the other way, I'm not sure why. It was a stunning effort though. Barry are still 0-0. Swansea Met Uni lead at half-time against TNS. And we're struggling to break down Llandudno. This could be a very poor one for the nation, because Swansea Met Uni probably the least equipped to cope in Europe. As Malone gets it early on in the second half to Lloyd. Out to Gwyn Morgan, the sub right back. Gets into the box here. Cuts it back to Tom Jones. It's blocked off the line and cleared as far as Weaver. And then it just peters out. So unfortunately, we're getting a bit stuck here. I'm not sure we're even going to win this game. We mentioned that Llandudno are good at holding us up. As Weaver heads away a long goal kick. Only as far as Ethan Vaughan. Not the same one that we had a few years ago. As Vaughan chips it over again. John Price mops up. Does really well to find Wickens. Can we break the deadlock? Can we find that one penetrative move? As Price brings it out of the box to Weaver. There's no sign of panic just yet. We're still playing good football. We're still playing patient football. Walters gets it on the left-hand side. Beats his man with ease. Tries to cross. It's blocked to Weaver. Back to Chris Broom and Malone. He's got a man over on the right. Instead gives it back to Harvey Lloyd. We're forced back to halfway with Whittaker. He comes forward to Malone. He's got an overlap from Gwyn Morgan. Through ball towards Williams. Not got enough on it. The clearance doesn't get it downfield though. In the end, it's just hoofed away to Yesden Weaver. He beats his first man. Takes on the fullback as well. Delivers to Luke Williams, who finally heads in. We break them down after 52 long, frustrating minutes. It's Llandudno 0, Bangor City 1. And TNS have equalised against Swansea Met Uni. So if Barrytown win their game now, they will finish third. We just need them to nick a goal. Let Josh Thomas be a hero now. Ethan Vaughan at right back finds Masters. Let's not rule out a Llandudno equaliser, because they are playing alright here and they're still in the game. Jones down the left. It's all the way through to Miranda. Good save by Wickens. The flag goes up eventually. Malone's tired. So I'm going to bring on Kyo Bulkley, the youngster. I'm also going to take Harvey Lloyd off, who's looking the most tired. We'll put Price into the holding role. And we'll bring on young Pasiarek as the other centre half. So one of the youth intake stars and one of the young January signings getting a go. Now can Barrytown United get their goal? If they do, they get into Europe. But they bottled it last year and they might again. Bulkley on free kick duty. Luke Williams heads over. A second here would make us rest easier in this one. Come on Barrytown, do it for the nation please. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's 10 minutes to go and they're bottling it. TNS are doing their bit. They're holding Swansea Met Uni. We're doing our bit. We're beating Llandudno. But Barrytown, maybe they're resting people for the final. I don't know. Masters goes back to Allen. And we're still not home and dry here yet. Whittaker heads it away. Only as far as Jones, the left back. We might not have to worry about that in a minute. Gwyn Morgan intercepts the through ball to Bulkley. Price gives it to Tom Jones. He goes long over the top. Walters will chase. Wants to level up with Luke Williams on the goal tally. Gets into the box. His shot is high. It's awful. Just sort of scooped under it. It went miles over the bar. In the end, it remains 1-0. Into stoppage time we go. Weaver gives it to Walters. Plays a 1-2. Gets it into Chris Broom. He cuts it across. Luke Williams at the back stick. How's he missed that? He's put it over the bar from 1 yard. It's awful, awful finishing from the front two. But that's it for the final day of the season. Unless they got a very, very late winner, Barrytown United have bottled it and Swansea Met Uni have bottled it. and Llandudno will stay in third place. Or if Swansea Met Uni were only 1 point behind, they'll go above on goal difference. They have. So Swansea Met Uni are going to be third. They're going to be in Europe automatically. And it's probably not a good thing for the nation that that's happened to an amateur side. Because they're not going to get the same level of financial competition out of it. Maybe they will go semi-pro, who knows. Their key player is Carlton Roof, who's a decent keeper. But they're not equipped for this level. It's going to be very difficult. And I'm a bit annoyed at Barrytown United. The only way they can get through automatically now is if they beat us in the Welsh Cup final. We'll be back in a moment to find out if they can. Welsh Cup final time. It is the showpiece event to end the season and a chance for us after 10 years of trying to get back-to-back quadruples. We went 9 years without one and now it could be 2 in a row. Yes, Den Weaver is fit. Ben Cottrell's fit, not that that matters. And to be fair, when we get to the end of this season, it should be a massive overhaul. So for a lot of these players, it's their last chance to be involved in the squad or in and around the club for a cup final. So let's have a look at what's recommended. Patrick Malone's not been in the best form, but I'm going to start the players who are permanent additions rather than loan ones. And I don't think we can extend it yet. Oh, we can. So we can get Furlong till the end of next season if we want. So that might make a difference in my decision because he is better than Patrick Malone. So I'm going to go for Broom and Furlong for the big game, just to annoy Malone before the final as well. Pasiarek is a player who is improving and training so well, but I feel like I have to go for experience in this one. So as a result, Bulkley and Pasiarek will miss out. The rest of the lineup and the squad stays the same. It is a great opportunity for Bangor City, but for Barrytown United, it's their route into Europe. Let's go and see if they can do it, or if we can lift the Welsh Cup. Barry have gone very big in the transfer window in recent seasons. So Josh Thomas joined in the summer. We know about Jenkins, Gibbons, Gray. They've got Heath from TNS. They've got Tom Clifford now from TNS. So the second half of the season has been much stronger as a result. We're going to get the lads to prove a point though and get through this tunnel interview. Because we should still be the favourites. And this is a great opportunity for us. Hopefully a former star striker doesn't come back to haunt us. 8 minutes on the clock. Furlong into the team today. Has his free kick which is cleared away by Gibbons. Tom Jones will get there first and finds Harvey Lloyd to Weaver. Chance to chip it forward. Luke Williams is up. Knocks it down for Broom. Through to Kane Walters. And he levels up at 44 goals for the season. A brilliant start. A pretty direct move and a flick on. But Kane Walters is eagle-eyed in front of goal. And he makes it 1-0 to Bangor City. As easy as that. Only shot of the game so far. And we lead against Barrytown United. Well, I will say, as we get to the final 5 minutes of the half, Barry are better on the stats. Our only shot on target was the goal, and Barrytown have had 2. As Whittaker heads away a throw-in, Harry Gray will get there first, and Barrytown tried to build another attack. But they give it away to Furlong, and they're the individual errors you just can't concede in these sorts of games. Luke Williams gets on the end of it, gives it to Tom Jones, and what a finish by the youth intake star. He's 3 or 4 years into the first team now. He's got a player in Bulkley who wants to chase him. But you're not competing with that. Stunning from Tom Jones. An incisive breakaway. And despite Barrytown having an even match of this game, it's 2-0 to Bangor City at half time. And with 5 minutes gone in the second half, we're back for a goal kick for Barrytown. They go long down the right hand side. Weaver gets up though. And he heads it down for Kane Walters. Charges at his man. Gives it to Luke Williams. Sets him up who hits the outside of the post. On his weaker left foot, he just couldn't get it on target. And if he had, he would have been back ahead on the goal front. They're now at 44 apiece. And Jones has picked up a knock, the number 10. So we're going to have to make a change. We'll put Furlong up there. We'll put Broom back on the left of the diamond and Malone on the right. It's a big change and I hope it's not a big injury. Because Tom Jones, after that brilliant second goal, has basically wrapped up this final for us. As McDonald throws into Luke Williams. Gives it back to the fullback again. No lasting repercussions from that knock he picked up in the last game. Gives it to Patrick Malone, a substitute, and now Harvey Lloyd. On a yellow card, we probably want to watch him, as it goes wide to Yes Den Weaver. Into Lloyd again, so patient in possession. Just dragging players in and out of position for Barry. And Lloyd gets it wide again, does he? No, back to Price. Lovely patient build-up. Malone flicks it on for McDonald. This is where we change the tempo. Gets into the penalty area. There's 4 in the middle. Myers heads it away, though, as far as Harvey Lloyd. He can go into the box, but instead goes back to halfway. And Whittaker starts again. Down the line to Kai McDonald. Probably his last game for the club in his second spell. We can't get him on loan again next year by the looks of it. He puts it into the box there, though. And Kane Walters gets his 45th of the season. That should be that. What a goal that is. Let's get the youngster Gwyn Morgan on. He can replace Kai McDonald. And to be fair, Chris Broome's tired. Luke Williams not the best. And as it's probably Williams' last game, let's get Joe Duffy on. Because Joe Duffy has earned more than most for this club. Him or Williams it could have been coming on. But Joe Duffy deserves a send-off if he is going to leave this summer. Well, we've reached stoppage time. There's been no further threat. And those 2 early Barry chances were wasted. And he didn't get another opportunity. That's how important they are in these games. But Bangor City, after 9 years without one, have got back-to-back quadruples. We were a hair's breadth away from getting further in Europe and having that watershed moment. But it goes on for another year. We'll focus on that next season, overhauls to the squad needed. But for now, Bangor City celebrate the quadruple. The Welsh Cup is lifted by George Wickens. It's aloft in his arms for the skipper. And it's 4 trophies yet again for Bangor City. And now we are really starting to dominate Welsh football again. TNS got close for a few years. Barry Town have got Europa Conference qualifiers to get through. So let's see if they qualify via the league playoff. We'll find out the answer to that one next season. Tom Jones' injury, just a few days. Nigel Atkins hailing us a legend. Who are in the qualifiers? We don't know yet. So it's going to be between Llandudno, Barry, Aberystwyth and Colwyn Bay, who got there last year. Swansea Met Uni have qualified automatically. Let's go and get ahead to our season review though, because this summer, I know I've said it before, but if I get my way, I think this will be the biggest overhaul in some time. So let's get through the season review and say a thank you to some of our heroes. Season review time with Bangor City. 4 trophies and a wonderful season. Let's start by having a look at the new arrivals. Record signing Kane Walters. We were worried for the first 3 months. He looked really poor, but look how he's come to the party. 45 goals in 39 appearances. Well worth that £1 million or so. Luke Williams on loan from Brighton, 44 in 47 and more assists too. He's someone I'm desperate to keep in the summer. Yesden Weaver finally joined permanently. He had another great year, averaging an assist every other game. Kai McDonald on the right wasn't far off. Matty Whittaker at centre half, an absolute revelation. Derby County, we've got a lot to thank them for this year. Chris Broome came in permanently and despite an injury did really well. Furlong, the January loan signing, was great. And Pasiurek is improving so much off the pitch. I think he'll make a difference next year. And let's not forget Josh Pugh as well. Only got to play that one game, but it was the SPFL Trust Trophy semi-final against Linfield. And he did alright. And it was a crucial win in the end despite the poor start. So we won't forget his contribution too. One defeat though, we didn't go invincible. That was against the New Saints at home, wasn't it? That 3-0 defeat before the Cup final. The Champions League, again we fell at the final qualifying hurdle. Peter Holding on loan at Dundalk helped them to an away goals win. And then in the Europa League, 2 watershed moments. One that worked perfectly and one that was a what might have been moment. We won 3-2 away at Leipzig to win the group in the final group stage match. We were fantastic. We then did the same away at Porto before losing out to 2 dodgy penalties. And that ended up costing us a last 8th place in the Europa League. It's a real good sign of how far we've come. But we've got to get over that line at some point. We win the SPFL Trust Trophy, we win the Welsh Cup, we win the League Cup. A perfect season, a brilliant display, loads of quality performances and goals. How the 6-0 win at Kefin Druids is the match to remember above Leipzig or Porto away, I'll never ever know. Leipzig away is the best game of this series, there is no doubt in that. Sponsorship is up, broadcast revenue is down. Competition prize money's down because, of course, we didn't play in the first knockout round. We didn't have quite so many games. And we didn't get into the Champions League, which is costing us financially. But everything else is gradually improving. The attendances, the finances, and all of the other little bits like merchandise and shirt sales. They're all creeping up. It's a brilliant first 11. You could write it fairly easily here, couldn't you? And that's why we end the season with 4 trophies. Manager of the Year again. Fans Player of the Season is Kane Walters. He's almost completed a clean sweep. Yesden Weaver top of the assist chart. And George Wickens, 37 clean sheets. Joe Duffy goes up to 159 league goals. And Kane Walters becomes the record transfer in. And don't forget Tony McLaughlin. Record transfer out. He's not really improving at Stoke. But a brilliant deal for Welsh football and for us. So a great season to finish on. I'm hoping this will be a big summer for us. All of those heroes of years gone by. The likes of Cameron Badebo. The likes of Luca Cannell, the likes of Elliot Andrew, Max Dean, Archie Woods. If I have my way, they could all be on their bike and replaced with new players or youth players coming through. It's going to be a big job and I'm not sure we're going to be able to do it all in one season. And in truth, we'd love to sell some of these on to other Welsh clubs, but no one makes an offer. So we could end up losing them all to English clubs for peanuts. As it is though, they've all been brilliant servants, and if they do go, we'll thank them personally in a transfer special. But for you guys, if you did enjoy the season and another quadruple with Bangor City, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. It's a case, of course, of what might have been in Europe on 2 occasions there against Dundalk and Porto. But we've still done a brilliant job, and we're still progressing the nation. Hopefully the coefficient gradually improves. Hopefully the transfer window's big for Welsh football. And we'll find all of that out next season. If you want to stay up to date and get notifications, subscribe down below and turn on the bell. There's also a link to other playlists and the new food channel up in the eye above. And there's also a link to the Twitch channel down in the description below, where we're going to have a big month of live streaming. We're really going to go for it. And I'd love it if you could follow along and come and join in with the fun. But a big thanks for watching and following along for another season. It really is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time for Season 12 at Bangor City, as we try and get over those hurdles in Europe and regenerate the squad. I'll see you there.